Hey everyone, welcome back to What's Inside Season 3 of our Elegoo Kids series. And this is going to be our last episode, episode 10, our season finale. And what we're going to be taking a deeper dive in is the RGB LEDs. And Josh can give you a little rundown or a little quick overview of what these are.
If you've ever worked with graphic design or any of that sort, you know what RGB is. It's a component of how much red, how much green, and how much blue is in each color. And there's a specific LED that can accommodate this. So basically, this LED, as you can see, it has 4 pins instead of the normal 2 because it has an input pin that will tell you how much red, how much green, and how much blue is in each color, and then display that color as a light. It's pretty cool because this light can make a whole different variety of lights. Let's get deeper into it at the analysis.
Hey everyone, welcome to the analysis sector of the RGB LEDs for your colorful projects. So with these LEDs, we can create millions of colors because there's many combinations of mixing red, green, and blue light. And so what we want to do here is to control the intensity of each color channel with PWM to produce any color. And some applications, you may be, like Josh was saying, the graphic design, mood lighting, indicators, decorations, visual feedback. And so for these projects, you can add these vibrant colors and dynamic lighting to your electronics. And just any color you want, you can code it and get these colors.
Yep, and let's go through some of the features. It's really cool. It's not like your average LED. It's an RGB channel that is combined into one. So red, green, and blue LEDs all work. And then it's also a common anode versus cathode, which is a shared positive or negative pin. Also has color mixing. We can adjust the brightness of each color to create colors, and control method color blending, just PWM signals for smooth color blending. Think of it as almost a paintbrush. Now let's look at our LED module and identify the 4 pins. There's one common pin, anode or cathode, and then 3 color pins, a red, a green, and a blue, hence the name RGB. The pin order and type is printed on the PCB and the datasheet, and you can identify whether it's a common anode, where the common pin goes to +5 volts, or common cathode, where the common pin goes to ground to wire it correctly. Now let's get into internal working principles, which William can tell you about.
Yeah, so each of the red, green, and blue LEDs inside can be dimmed individually by varying the voltage or the currents. So if we use pulse width modulation, Arduino simulates different brightness levels. And we can combine the different brightness levels of RGB to create a wide color spectrum. And so if you want to wire this with the Arduino pins, the common cathode or anode will be linked to the +5 voltage or the ground pin. And it depends on the type. And then we have the R connects to the 9th pin, G connects to the 10th pin, and B connects to the 11th pin. And you should use current limiting resistors if they are not included on the module.
Now let's talk about a common anode versus common cathode. So the common anode is the common pin connected to the +5 volts, and where the control pins set low to control on colors. Common cathode is where the common pin connects to ground, and the control pins set high to turn on colors. Make sure your code logic matches your RGB type, because there are a whole different bunch out there. Now let's troubleshoot some RGBs. The LED doesn't light up, it's a wrong wiring or no power. If there's only 1 or 2 colors, it's an incorrect pin connection, or PWM pins used. If the colors don't mix properly, you're mixing common anode versus cathode logic. If there's flickering frequency issues, and that means there's a poor connection, or PWM. Now, this pin and these pins and this RGB LED has so many different uses, and it has so many different functions, so many different working parts that we could go over for hours and hours. But that's kind of out of our time constraint right now, so make sure to email us if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we thank you for tuning in to What's Inside Season 3, the Elegoo R3. Hopefully this season was enjoyable to you, hopefully you learned something, and most importantly, hopefully you had fun. Because, as always, you should stay curious, because that's what's inside. Remember, curiosity is a superpower. And until next time, I'll see you in Season 4. Goodbye.